Before the Islamic Revolution of 1979, the Iranian army was entirely dependent on foreign countries. From 1950 to the time of the Pahlavi dynasty collapse, the value of Iran's purchases of military equipment and services from the US amounted to $20 billion. In return for the sale of weapons, the Shah of Iran had to unquestioningly obey Americans' orders in appointing or removing certain officials in the government or army. Along with these weapons, American military advisors would come protected by the capitulation law, and no military item was to be repaired in Iran. After the Islamic Revolution, many arms deals, which included the purchase of American cruisers and fighter jets and English tanks, were frozen, and for many of them, Iran was not even refunded. With the Iraqi Ba'ath invasion only a year after the revolution, Iran's need for weapons increased sharply. However, getting access to arms had become extremely challenging for Iran because the world powers did not want Iran to win the war. The US, while selling arms to Iraq lavishly, had imposed military sanctions on Iran. Therefore, Iranians had to purchase military equipment on the black market at higher prices. Since then, Iran decided to develop its own arms industry. Eventually, after 8 years of war, Saddam did not achieve any of his goals. But in Iran, the seeds of self-sufficiency in arms manufacture were planted. Today, Iran proudly produces 100% of its infantry equipment and meets 70% of its armored and artillery needs. Iran is also producing destroyers, tanks, fighters, drones, and missiles. This is the result of Iranians' trust in their own abilities.